Don't give up on outbound until you've tested your sales motion against these three different topics. If you can do that, you'll make sure that you're able to make sales. And if you're not able to make sales, you'll be able to diagnose why. So the very first thing I use to diagnose whether outbound is working or not is to look at the product. Are we making a product that has a good market fit? Are we tailoring it the right way? Are we communicating it? Are we solving some pain points, specific results that people would care about? Or is it something that people don't really think about, or is it actually really a problem? If you've made sales, then that's really the data you're pulling from. If you haven't made sales yet, then this is the first thing you want to get right. The second thing I look at is the process. So this is developing a system of finding the right type of people who experience these pain points and who are looking for the results you promise, and essentially outreaching through to them, finding them, and then building messaging and a system around that so that become scalable, and that you actually end up having a little outbound motion that can have a repeatable and predictable sales motion. Then the last thing to look at is really the person or the people, the team that's actually executing this outbound motion from start to finish. Here's where we look at whether they have the prospecting skills, if there's any gaps there specifically, if there's any problem with objection handling or managing their time, or if there's any lack of motivation from an incentive standpoint. All of these things come together, and this is how we can diagnose if the sales are happening or not. And so this is how I would think through it. And the last thing is that you could get all three of these things right, but then sometimes you just need a little bit of time to get it right. Sometimes there's sales cycles that are natural in your industry or for your product that you may not be aware of, which can be months or years. And so sometimes when you get this all right, then it's just about waiting it out and making sure you're building your pipeline so that every single month something is converting from the back of your efforts. So that's why I wouldn't give up on outbound until you've diagnosed these three things.